The Grey Man does whatever a Grey Man can. Can he make a comic feed? Yes, he can. He just did. Watch now, a video from Grey Man. A video from Grey Man.
Hey, it's me again. Blog time once again, and I'm just gonna go through another box. I'm gonna go through box number 6. Do about a third of it because you don't want to do a whole short box. This I remembered is my this is kind of my horror box. It's gonna be my horror box eventually. So I haven't got a huge amount of horror comics. Starting off with The Doorway to Nightmare, the beautiful Madame Xanadu. It's number 1, and number 2. Try and get rid of the glare if I can. I always liken her to my girlfriend because my girlfriend's got dark hair and she reads tarot cards for a living. So I always think of my Lisa as being my beautiful Madame Xanadu. Talking of which, it's actually our 10th anniversary today. Me and my girlfriend, been going together for 10 years now. Unfortunately, we can't be together today because we're isolating in different parts of London. So yeah, not seeing my beautiful girl today. Never mind. I haven't seen her for about 3 weeks now. What with work and this lockdown. Right, here's another Madame Xanadu. I think this was a one-off. I think this one was. Step through the doorway into nightmare. Right, then I discovered, I think I bought this one for 20p. I didn't even know this was a run. But I discovered this run, it was only 20p, this comic. And there's a few more to collect. But hopefully I'll get to collect them all at one point. But yeah, Madame Xanadu, very beautiful. I love a dark-haired lady. And yeah, she's hot. And she's mysterious as well. Right, this is one, I started collecting this one because in one of the issues, it's the first appearance of the Necronomicon from H.P. Lovecraft. It's the first appearance of the Necronomicon in Marvel Comics. But I picked up the first appearance of it in DC Comics, which was in Justice League of America number 10, I think, which was the first appearance of the Demons 3, the first appearance of Felix Faust, and it had the Necronomicon in it as well. And being a H.P. Lovecraft fan, these are quite cool old horror stories. Great covers as well. Great box covers on these ones. I haven't got the full run of this yet, but it's one that I would want to get. I do want to get the full run of at some point if I can. So that was 1 and 2. This is number 3. You can see a tentacled thing coming in through the window to kill this guy. He can't get away because he's stuck in a jail cell. That's pure Lovecraftian, that is. Shambler from the stars. It lives, the Shambler from the stars. Pipe down back there, will ya? Nuts, that weirdo in cell 13 is yelling again about how something's coming to get him. Forget him. He'll never be safer than he is right here in jail. Oh, how wrong you are. How very, very wrong you are. And The Hunter of the Dark. Another Lovecraftian tale. A Spine Tingler by H.P. Lovecraft, Master of the Macabre. Yeah. Right, number 5. A Tale of Midnight Menace by Robert Brock, author of Psycho. The Shadow from the Steeple. Journey into Mystery. And then there's number 6, Journey into Mystery number 6. I think this was the second series of Journey into Mystery. There was an earlier series, which I think is like 4 and stuff like that. Isn't that Journey into Mystery? Wasn't that where 4 debuted? Right, so that's 5 and 6. I don't have number 7, but here's number 8. Winged Death Came Out of the Night. I think I managed to pick this one up cheap, if memory serves me correctly, which was nice. Right, number 9. What is the startling secret behind the coughing of hell? Your stay on earth has ended, mortal, and now it is time to die. Good stuff. Right, I'm trying to get a run of Secrets of the Haunted House because I thought it'd be one run wouldn't be too expensive, but they're not cheap actually. I was quite surprised. So Secrets of the Haunted House number 1. I picked this one up fairly recently. This has got the 2 kids huddling and hiding. There seems to be a definite meme or trope, whatever you want to call it, with the haunted books. Very often there's 2 kids hiding from a monster or from an alien or something like that. It's been used quite a lot. So that's number 1 of Secrets of Haunted House. I haven't really got many of them yet. I think there's about 100 odd in the run. Number 10. I just thought I'd try and concentrate on one horror run, and this was the one I went for, but I really haven't got many at all. Like this one I used to have. I bought this one as a kid. I remember buying it, but when a little while back when I sort of tried to sort of say to myself, well, I haven't got any room, that much room, I should try and... So I got rid of what few war books I had, my Sergeant Rocks and my Creature Commandos and my GI robots. I got rid of them. And I got rid of my Haunted House ones as well. And this was one of the ones that I had. And I always remembered this cover story. Quite a sad sort of story. But yeah, I was glad to pick it up again, to be honest. Kind of wish I hadn't sold any of my own comics. I didn't sell a great deal of them, but, you know. Right, The End of the World, Curse of the Weird, You Are a Zombie, Uncanny Tales of Terror. This is number 4. I think this one might be a reprint of the first zombie tale. Is it Garth? Something Garth, the guy's name. Who's the zombie? Can't remember what his name is now. It's a Silver Age classic. Unfortunately, I don't have the original, much as I would love to have the original. Who doesn't want to have the original? If you've got the original and you're happy, or you haven't got the original and you wish you did. This is a Tomb of Dracula. It's the only Tomb of Dracula that I have. This is number 13, which is the origin of Blade. Blade's origin is in this issue. Not bad condition. It's got a little bit of a nick here and there. I think it's worth a few bob though. But yeah, I mean, it's not in the top condition, so it's still worth a bit, I think. But I got this as part of the buy that I also got my first Batgirl, Barbara Gordon Batgirl, so... There's a nice little one that came in with the lot, so to speak. Another giant-sized Dracula. Giant-sized Dracula number 3. Slow Death on the Killing Ground. There you go. Trying to angle it so you don't get so much glare. Right, a few random... horror type ones. Ghosts 95. It's got Dr. 13 Ghost Breaker. And this has actually got Spectre on it. This is Ghost 97. It's actually got Spectre. I think I'll pick this one up for 50p or something like that. It's always nice when you can get an old ghostly one for 50p. Here's an Unexpected. I think this was only 50p as well, even though it doesn't say that on the cover. I think I got this in London Comic Mart recently. Just a random one there, 50p, and I thought, yeah, there's no way I'm turning that down. You know what I mean? When you see a good comic for 50p, even if it's not a run that you're collecting particularly, you're not going to leave it there, are you? You can't. It's like, why would you leave it there? Right, here's a Johnny Peril story. He's got quite a lot of history, actually, Johnny Peril. He was around for a fair old while. Johnny Peril. And on the back we've got Weird Western Tales starring Scalp Hunter. witching hour. When I did I did a Halloween series a couple of years ago now, 13 Nights of Halloween, and I made like some horror stories into sort of, not cartoons, but but into audio books kind of thing up on my channel, and this was one of the stories that I did about a bloke who uses voodoo to defeat his enemies kind of thing. Right, do you dare enter the house of mystery? Alien related one. And look, two kids hiding. What did I tell you? I wonder how many the instances there are of two kids hiding, like on a horror or alien kind of comic. This is number one of that second printing though, of that ice cream man. A lot of people were singing its praises. And on the back is a black hammer, Cthulhu Louise, and I can't turn down a Cthulhu related comic. There's a little girl called Louise who happens to be an elder thing. Pretty crazy. I picked up this Cursed Comic Cavalcade. I saw this going recently when I went to a comic shop. It's quite expensive actually. Don't remember the stories being that great, but it was a bloody expensive book. An 80-page giant, and it was like, I don't know, £5 or something like that. And it's like, God, they're pricey nowadays. Right, I've got to write this run. Night Force. Quite a good story actually. I quite enjoyed that. I finally got around to reading it recently. It took me a while to get the whole thing together, and yeah, and I quite enjoyed it. And I think there's 3 series of it now. I had the second series in full already. I already had the second series of the Night Force. It's got that Baron Winter. I like the Baron Winter character. Be nice to sort of see more of him and learn more of him, but he's not used a great deal in DC. I think the last thing that happened was that bloody Constantine had his house, his Winter Manor. I think Constantine somehow had control of his house. I don't know what happened there. But apparently there was a 3rd series as well that I've written down, hopefully to pick up at some point. This one's got a good cover on it. There's a thing on the stairs. Bit sticky there. Another tentacled thing. And just by way of a change, tentacles from above. Some 7-headed monster. Is it 7 heads? Yeah, 7 heads. Covers by Gene Colan. Story, I think, by Giordano. The origin of the Baron Winters. And that's the lot, 14 parts, I think it was. How many more shall I show you? Show you a few more. This is one of my birthday books. A Charlton, Strange Suspense Stories. This is another one, the story on the cover. I did it for my 13 Nights of Halloween. I think Harry's Lotto mentioned that in a comment at one point. He must have been looking for my old videos. There was something that was said in this, and he sort of brought it up and said, what can you tell me about so-and-so? And I was like, that sounds slightly familiar, but it was from that. Right, another birthday book, Unexpected, from September 1969. Your wish has come true. You cannot change your mind. Take it. I think this old woman is called the Mod Witch. I think she's called the Mod Witch. It's kind of like a hippie witch or something weird like that from the 60s. The Mad Mod Witch, I think she was called. Something weird like that. Right, here's another Charlton, another birthday book, September 1969. Sanho Kim, is it the name of the artist? This is Echoes of the Spirit World, Ghost Manor. The stories were a little bit lacking, I'd say. But it was cool. Right, The House of Secrets. There's no escape from the House of Secrets. This is number 81. This is actually, I think, pretty much the debut of Abel, the little guy there in the corner. He's the brother of Cain, the one who was murdered by Cain. And in this run, he used to sort of murder him all the time. He was murdering him, and he'd come back to life again. And you see, you got a couple of kids and a dog going up to the House of Secrets. Pretty cool cover. Right, another one. Number 4 of The Witching Hour. This is again from my birthday, September 1969. Is that Nick Cardy on the cover art? It's 12 o'clock, The Witching Hour. And here we see a witch. It's pretty much what you'd expect on a witching hour. Ghostly Tales from the Haunted House. Another Charlton, another birthday book from September 1969. You got the sort of the comic host is this devilishy kind of guy over on the side here. I'm pretty sure he was the comic host. Right, we've got Twilight Zone, September 1969. Twilight Zone from Gold Key. This is possibly one of my only Gold Key comics. Rod Serling there. Can't beat the Twilight Zone. Right, here's a number 1. Another September 1969. Tower of Shadows. And the horror host in this book is a guy called Digger, who you can see up here in the corner. That's Digger. And he actually became a character sort of in proper Marvel continuity. He was a villain in Spider-Woman, and then went on to be a member of the Night Squad. I think it's the Night Squad, with the Shroud is their leader. They're kind of like a villainous team, but the Shroud is kind of like he's doing a bit of a Green Hornet, where he poses them as villains, but he uses them to sort of like fight crime as much as they do commit crime. Alright, let's just go through these then, and then I can call that the end of this video. Some Cthulhu Tales. Number 2, I'm waiting for number 1. Well, eventually I want to get number 1, so I'm not waiting for it. I've not ordered it or anything. I actually bought a little batch of them off of mycomicshop.com recently, and number 1, obviously they never had number 1, so I wasn't able to pick that one out, otherwise I'd have completed my run. So some Cthulhu stuff there. Another Cthulhu type demon. Number 5, some kind of deep one or Cthulhu type monster carrying a woman. That nurse looks straight out of Silent Hill. And some poor guy in an asylum, I'm guessing. Something from the stars. It's like a zombie being killed by a tentacle. I don't know what it is, but it's squamous. Something squamous and squat, and it's probably shuffling around under a gibbous moon. If I know my Lovecraft. I think this one, I think she's bleeding from the eyes and nose because she's seen things beyond her brain can handle. That wouldn't surprise me. Sometimes seeing these things from beyond brings about madness and death. Alright. Cthulhu is here. Vote Cthulhu. Vote insanity. Another squat and squamous looking thing. Alright then, and that'll do for now. That'll do for now. I've got a little marker where I know I'm going to show some for next time. I'll show you some more of my horror box tomorrow. Yeah. Cheers for watching. And yeah. I'll talk to you all soon, guys. And until next time, may all your news be good news.